Back in the 1800s, many streets in Hartford, Connecticut were lined with elegant houses and grand mansions, far too many of which are long gone today. Two notable homes that once stood next to each other on Main Street were erected by a wealthy merchant who lived in Hartford but had a town named for him in Alabama, and also a recently opened hotel. Hi, this is History with me, Dan Sterner, and in this video, let's explore the story of Hartford's lost Ely mansions. One Hartford neighborhood where some of the city's wealthiest citizens once lived was the area where Main Street intersects with Ann Street, High Street, and Albany Avenue. For instance, at the corner of Main and Ely Streets was the now lost Greek Revival mansion of the Keeney brothers, who made a fortune in the wholesale grocery business. A few doors down was a substantial three-story house erected in 1811 for William Ely. Born in 1767 in Guilford, Connecticut, Ely was the son of a Congregational minister. He graduated from Yale and initially studied medicine before deciding to outfit a ship which he took to the Dutch East Indies. There he became a wealthy shipping merchant, pursuing that career until he decided to move to Hartford, where he became a dealer in wholesale groceries and general merchandise. In 1811, the year he married Clarissa May Davis, he placed in the Hartford Courant a want ad for a joiner to work on a dwelling house. The house in question was a two-story structure that he moved to a site just south of the future Keeney Brothers grocery business. He placed two new chimneys in the house and engaged a carpenter named Hamilton to build what was essentially an entirely new house by constructing a larger three-story frame around the old house. However pleased Mr. Ely was with his large new home, his neighbors were much less happy. A suit was brought against him for violating a city ordinance by erecting a new wooden house within city limits. When the case was tried before the December term of the county court, prominent neighbors testified against him, including the merchants Eliphalet Terry, who lived just above on the same side of Main Street, and Nathaniel Goodwin, who lived directly across the street. The court judged him guilty, and on Christmas Day fined him $400 and an additional $30 costs. 20 years later, William Ely built another house just south of the first one. A Greek Revival-style mansion, it featured a central section flanked by two side wings, each of which had a two-story portico supported by four classical columns. Here he lived until his death in 1847. He was buried in Hartford's Old North Cemetery. But what about the connection to Alabama that I mentioned at the start of this video? In 1820, William Ely was in that newly established state, acting as the agent of the Connecticut Asylum for the Education and Instruction of Deaf and Dumb Persons, which had been founded 3 years earlier in Hartford, and is known today as the American School for the Deaf. He was there to sell parcels of a 2,560-acre tract of land that had been granted to the asylum in 1819 by the United States Congress. The proceeds from the sale, in which prices rose to between $15 and $100 an acre, allowed the school to construct a building on Lord's Hill in Hartford that would remain its home until it moved to West Hartford in 1921. Ely arranged to sell 27 acres of this land to Jefferson County, Alabama, for 1 cent an acre on condition that a courthouse and jail be built there within 4 years. In appreciation, the new community was named Ely's Town, or Elleton, in his honor. The new town remained the county seat until the courthouse was moved to Birmingham in 1873. Elleton was eventually absorbed by the city of Birmingham, but in 2017 the name was revived for the new Elleton Hotel, which is located in Birmingham's historic 16-story Empire Building, erected in 1909. If you are enjoying this video so far, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Getting back to Hartford, what happened to the two Eli houses along Main Street? The first one to go was the 1811 house. In 1898, the Keeney Memorial Clock Tower was built on the site of the Keeney Brothers grocery business next door. The Eli house was demolished so that it wouldn't obstruct the view of the new monument. As for the 1832 mansion, it survived a while longer. After William Eli's death, his widow Clarissa lived here until she passed away in 1882. During her 50 years in the mansion, according to her obituary in the Hartford Courant, she has maintained through her long life the gracious old-time hospitality, which is so fast dying out of modern society, but which has helped to make her house one of the pleasantest social centers in the city. The couple had 7 children. 2 died very young, a daughter and 2 sons married, and 2 other unmarried daughters continue to reside in the family homestead. Mary Davis Eli, who died in 1892, was described at the time as a woman of unusual intellect and brilliancy in conversation. As a girl, she had studied at the Hartford Female Seminary on Pratt Street, which was run by Catherine Beecher. Catherine's sister, Harriet Beecher Stowe, taught there for a time, and Mary Eli was one of her favorite pupils. The two maintained their friendship until Eli's death. Mary's younger sister, Charlotte, was also active in society, but for the last 15 years of her life she was confined to her home, where she passed away in 1909. By 1911, Hartford's Second North School District was experiencing overcrowding in the Henry Barnard School on High Street. Desperately in need of more space, the district acquired the nearby Eli Mansion, which was quickly refitted to become a schoolhouse for first, second, and third grade students. By the time of this 1922 map, the district had erected several portable school buildings around the Eli House, both to relieve the continued congestion at the High Street building and, as the Hartford Courant put it, to obviate the need of small children from the east side crossing Main Street near such a busy intersection. These temporary structures continued to surround the old mansion until the entire property was cleared and the new Henry Barnard School was built on the site in 1927. It became the Barnard Brown School in 1951, and today it's the Capital Prep Magnet School. The Eli mansions are gone, but Eli Street survives nearby. It was opened through the Eli property in 1862. Now let me know what you think. Did anyone watching this video go to the Barnard Brown School? And did you realize that 2 lost mansions once stood there? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.